What's the holidays without a few antics from the giant yellow fry-cooked sponge? Well, probably not that much different, but I like SpongeBob. And it's interesting to see how SpongeBob handles the different seasons and special events. From getting fired to Christmas. To being teleported to a Dungeons and Dragons fantasy world. Of course, some of these episodes are considerably worse than others. Anyway, let's check out the top 5 best and worst SpongeBob specials. For the 5th worst, SpongeBob's Last Stand. I've actually heard some people say this episode was initially meant to be the series finale, but I personally couldn't find anything confirming that from the start. Maybe it was just a misinterpretation because of the name. This is definitely a case of us getting a huge chunk of time filler nothing content, like SpongeBob and Patrick's jellyfishing song, which is probably the most blasé, typical SpongeBob song I've ever heard. I mean, it's literally the words jellyfishing song repeated over and over again, and it gets grating very quickly. The episode's basically about SpongeBob and Patrick trying to stop Plankton from building a superhighway that would both destroy the jellyfish fields and put the Krusty Krab out of business. And it's just as cliche as it sounds. I was trying to figure out why I felt so impatient and uncomfortable watching this episode. Then I realized it perfectly captures the most boring, unpleasant parts of my old activism days in cartoon form. The sign hanging, handing out flyers to strangers, being harassed by security.
All right, you two, you're under arrest.
What for?
Unlicensed use of a sitter.
Coming up with terrible jingles that no one's going to remember, and the public's not so happy response to all this. Yeah, I've always respected the resilience of people who can keep doing this stuff long term. But the episode captures perfectly how exhausting my memories of those activism days are. Even Give Jellyfish Fields a Chance is among the show's most dull songs I've heard. It's a parody of Give Peace a Chance that feels severely underwritten. At least in Give Peace a Chance, the words that rhyme all tie into John Lennon's message. But here, they're just a series of random words that happen to rhyme.
Who could possibly figure that out?
I feel like if they had planned on ending the show after this episode, Steven Hilberg would have made sure the episode was, special. Instead of being a generic environmental episode with nothing at all special about it. Even if he'd left by this point, I think he'd come back just to make the finale right. I mean, this amazing man worked on the show while he had ALS, just because he wanted to get his creation back on track. Although it's worth noting, Season 7 ran into its own set of problems behind the scenes, and their time frame was a lot shorter. And that's how SpongeBob's Last Stand feels, like the writers were rushed for time. And for the 5th best, it's a SpongeBob Christmas. Here we see a truly satisfying plot for a Christmas special. Watching SpongeBob and his evil replica destroy Christmas. What could be better? The style of this one really jumps out and hits me. It's very easy to get claymation looking weird or uncomfortable, but they strike a good balance of colors here. In fact, the stop motion was directed by Screen Novelties, who directed the stop motion of Adult Swim's Robot Chicken. So there's a ton of comedy in the animation right there. The story this time is Plankton laces his fruitcake with, jerktonium.
Jerktonium.
Which turns the entire town into jerks.
Everyone can get behind the ball of Christmas.
But what's most amusing about this is that SpongeBob is the one destroying Christmas. He joyously spreads the jerktonium to Bikini Bottom far and wide. It turns out SpongeBob's too pure to be affected by the jerktonium, so we get something even better, an evil SpongeBob.